welcome back to Triple Goddess Soapery. My name is Angela. Today we are going to walk through the making of Salt Spring Suds. It is a beer-based soap with a vanilla fragrance. And if you like vanilla, you're really gonna like this. It has a really nice, sweet, I don't know, it smells like vanilla. Like if you like vanilla, you'll really like this. This is not actually the same batch that you're gonna see me making because that has already sold out. And this is my second go at it, which didn't really come out quite the same. Like it's the same color and stuff, but it doesn't have the same splash swirl. I don't know why, it just didn't come out. But anyway, we are going to cut over to me making this soap and have a little chat. I don't know what we're going to chat about yet, but I'm sure we'll come up with something. Stay tuned. And here we are, getting all set up to make Salt Spring Suds. I use a beer powder that I bought from Windy Point Soaps in Canada. And I believe the ratio that's generally used is about 1 teaspoon per pound of oils. And I am doing a 2,000 gram batch of soap, so 20 bars. So I'm using about 2 tablespoons. And in the bowl, I already have my goat milk powder. I believe there's some oatmeal in this one, but I'd have to check for sure, as well as my kaolin clay. Basically, my soaps are all milk and clay soaps, so you'll find some kind of milk, usually goat's milk, and some kind of clay. Often it's kaolin, but sometimes, I use other clays depending on what color or benefit I'm going for. So we're going to get it all mixed up really well in there, and then we'll get out the lye water. And this video, I believe, was filmed. Let's just take a look here because I am sitting at my computer while I record this. This video was recorded on January 28th, and it is now April 7th. This particular batch is completely sold out. It went to wholesale orders, but I did make another batch recently, just this past week, and I made another 20 bars because, this is only a 10 bar batch. That's why it sold out so fast. So I'm only using 1 tablespoon of beer powder in here. But anyway, the batch that I made this past week was 20 bars. So I'm going to add some sodium lactate to my danger water, and we're going to stir that up and pour it in. I have since tried for the very first time using salt, just pickling salt, so salt that only has 1 ingredient, which is sodium chloride, in my lye water instead of sodium lactate because it is kind of pricey, and if I'm going to buy sodium lactate, I would prefer to use it in my skincare products, not something that's wash off. But anyway, I digress. And the salt works really well. Basically what I did was I put my salt in my distilled water and dissolved it, and then the next day I mixed in my lye, dissolved that, and then it sat probably for a few days, and then I made my soap. The one thing I did notice though is that there was like a crystalline residue on the inside of the container, and I think it was just the soap re-solidifying because it wasn't the lye. So that was really interesting. So the first batch of soap that I made with the salted lye water, I just poured it in and left the residue. And then the second batch, I tried to mix the residue back in, and honestly, I ended up with a salt bar because it was salt that actually was not dissolved or, I don't know, solidified, crystallized again, something. And it never did dissolve in the soap batter. But honestly, it was okay. It's my Ogopogo bar, so I'm just going to market that as a men's salt bar. So all is not lost. I'm sure that the bar is nice and safe. It smells beautiful. It looks good. It's just a little bit of salt that is in the finished product. All right, so what I'm doing here is I separated out about 1/4 of my batter because I use a vanilla fragrance oil in the soap, and if you know anything about vanilla fragrance oils or vanillin, they will darken your soap by a lot. So what I did was I separated my batter so that I could have part of my batter just stay natural and the rest would get dark. Because this is a beer soap, I wanted it to simulate looking at a nice dark stout. And I really think I think I nailed it when you see the bars at the end. So we got it all mixed up here and blended. And we're gonna get ready here. I'm just trying to mix it up a little thicker trace before I pour it in, because basically what I want is I want the bottom to have set up just a little tiny bit before I pour the top layer on so that it doesn't break through. And then I'm gonna do a splash swirl with my hanger tool that you can see just off in the corner. And that's something that I bought on Amazon, but you can find them at any hardware store. They're just gear ties. And they're rubbery and bendy, and honestly, they're perfect. They came in a pack of 2. I think it cost me $6. Right, so I banged out all the bubbles, and now I'm gonna get my unscented top, and I'm gonna pour it on nice and carefully, and I'm gonna use the spatula to break the fall. But if I haven't said it already, and I'm sure I have, I'm really, really happy with the way this soap turned out. It came out beautifully. And if you like the way this soap came out and you enjoy this video, please consider hitting the like button, hitting subscribe, so that you can follow along for more soapy content. And I also do other things as well, and I post a lot of shorts, probably too many, but I really enjoy posting on TikTok and Instagram, where you can follow me as well. All the information is in the contact card below. So here we go, we're just getting that top layer all poured on. And the batter is just beautiful. This fragrance oil works really, really well with my recipe. So here we go with the splash swirl. You just go up, straight down, and back again. And you'll be able to tell soon here how my bottom layer has thickened up a little bit, because you'll see some of the, I don't know, the bits, for lack of a better word, kind of come to the surface, and then I mess around with it a little bit. But I didn't really texture the top at all. I left it pretty plain. Because although it's vanilla fragrance, so it's very unisex, it is a beer soap, so it is geared towards a more masculine demographic. But I will say, I truly think that everyone will love this soap. So yeah, I just kind of play with it a little bit, but you can see it's kind of like, I don't know, the texture is a little off because I did the splash swirl. So some of that soap from the bottom layer came up to the top a little bit. Then I kind of decided, I don't think this is working. So I just fluff it around a little bit, flatten it out again, clean it up, and then we're all good to go. So I do have a market on May 13th, so in 5 weeks. So I am frantically making lots and lots of soap in all of my different scents and varieties, trying to get ready for this market and to have extra soap left over for wholesale customers. And you will see that the bottom layer of the soap is already starting to darken 24 hours later. And then there are some pictures at the end, and you can see how truly dark the vanillin does get. So when you have a fragrance oil that has vanillin in it, I suggest just leaning into it. Like, you can lighten it to a point with titanium dioxide, but coloring is going to be a challenge. And honestly, if you just lean into it and work your design around it, you're going to be much happier. And look how gorgeous that is. I really enjoyed the splash swirl. It looks really, really nice. There we go, me having a little camera dysfunction trying to get the soap bars in front of it. So what do you think? Leave a comment below and let me know if you like the splash swirl and how you like the soaps with vanilla in them. I will say, like, I like vanilla, but it's not like, I'm not crazy for vanilla, but it is definitely a popular a popular scent that most people like. And it really does smell good. This one is from Windy Point, and it's really nice. It's not too sickening sweet. It's rather perfect. I'd like to take the opportunity to say thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon.